You know, it probably says something about me as a subpar human being, but I'm very, very fond of this episode. It began life as a suggestion from a viewer, and when they first suggested it, I have to be honest, I wasn't even sure if it really fit the bad call mold, because building this mall certainly hasn't hurt the Mormon church in any significant measurable way. It may still, I'm not sure. It's still pretty early days as far as that goes, but for now, they seem pretty peachy. But the more I thought about it, the more I got, I'll be honest, irritated. Now, the church does a lot of good with its various humanitarian organizations, but by their own reckoning, the value of the goods and cash they donated from 1985 to 2009 topped out at just over $1 billion. Now, that's great, but then you get them spending more than that on a mall, more than what they spent in 25 years of humanitarian aid. So seen through that prism, it did seem a little gratuitous to me, not very Christian, let's say, which justified the story's bad call status, I think. Then came the writing, and as is often the case, I don't really know where the ideas came from. I know that originally I had 2 hookers, one for Thomas, one for Henry, and that they were to be giving blowjobs and not hand jobs. Obviously, we ended up going with just the 1 hooker and the hand job, both because it was easier, we only needed 1 actress, and can you imagine how uncomfortable it would have been for Renee to mime blowing Darcy take after take? Poor girl's neck would have packed it in. And I think it ended up looking funnier this way anyway. Certainly allowed for some more memorable sound effects, and that's what I really love about this episode, the sound. It actually took a while to get the fapping noise right. I tried kind of clucking my tongue quickly to approximate the sound. I tried looping vegetable squelches I'd recorded for another project. Nothing was really working. In the end, I just soaped up the rubber handle of a hairbrush and just annihilated it up close to the mic at various speeds. That worked like a charm. And being able to carry that sound through the skit while these 2 men are talking very seriously about their business matters is, for me, what makes this episode sing. That and Darcy's performance. He really went above and beyond here, and I could not be more pleased. In fact, while we were shooting my over-the-shoulder shots, I had to shut my eyes because looking at his face made me laugh too hard. While we're doling out the praise, a lot has to go to my gorgeous wife Renee. Doesn't she look fucking good in this one? It was obviously a very thankless role. A lesser woman would have been uncomfortable dressed as she was, but she did magnificently. So try not to love her as much as I do. I'll get jealous. Ooh, I just realized I haven't addressed the offensiveness of this episode, possibly our most offensive in terms of irreverence. We do, after all, have Jesus snorting coke off a hooker that's likely not a representation of the Messiah that's sanctioned by any Christian denomination. And the thing is, when writing it, when shooting it, we really weren't setting out to be offensive. We were just setting out to make something we found funny. Because that's how we are, that's what we like. And I'm not particularly ashamed to say that is my preference for comedy. I enjoy provocative, irreverent, in-your-face stuff. And to be honest, I think it'd be very difficult for any honest person to really take this episode seriously. You have a guy getting whacked off in the middle of a business meeting, you have the Son of God partying it up with a hooker. It's over the top. It's meant to be that way to let you know, by all means, take note of our point of view, but you don't have to take it too seriously. All that said, I do understand why some people have, and some people yet will, take offense to Jesus and the LDS Church leaders being portrayed in this way. I get it, but hear this, I just don't agree with you. And we're allowed to do that, you know? To quote the great Sidney Lumet, we're not out for consensus, we're out for communication. So thanks for hearing me out, guys. Cheers.